Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. In this series we're checking in on how some of the older MMOs that we all played and loved when we were younger are doing. Today's video is going to be slightly different than what we normally do. Normally we're playing the early game of whichever game we're checking out, we're going to check if the game is getting updates and all that good stuff. But today we're checking in on Wonderking. Released in 2007, this 2D MMORPG was closed again in 2011. However, I have some good news for people who are still looking to enjoy this game. Wonderking was basically MapleStory but with less active development and a smaller player base. The game only had a few base classes, the Swordsman, Mage, Thief and Scout, and those could later job advance to classes like the Swordsman could advance to the Knight and Warrior, or Mages could advance into Priests and Wizards. The max level of the game was level 140 and there were first and second job skill upgrades at level 30 and level 80. And while work was being done to add a third job advancement, it was never really fully added before the game got shut down in all regions back in 2011. The game shut down almost everywhere due to publisher and developer disputes. According to the publisher, changes in the amount of development effort from the original developers of the game resulted in a contractual issue. The game was supposed to be closed down for only a short while, but it just never went back up. In EU, the publisher for Wonderking was Big Point. I actually found this next bit unironically on a MapleStory blog. A lot's been going on with Wonderking all around the world, recently including a huge legal dispute between the developer and the publishers, a massive hacking outbreak, lack of game updates and a shrinking player base. A few months later, the NA publisher called Ignited Games posted this message on their Facebook. We regret to inform you that we have no choice but to temporarily discontinue service for Wonderking due to unresolved issues with the developers, including the limited amount of content without their full support. So it looks like behind the scenes there were quite a few issues with the developer and publisher contracts that led to the downfall of this game. So that's basically why the game got shut down. However, there is good news for everyone who enjoyed or didn't get to enjoy this game back in the day. Wonderking, after being closed for 11 years, is making its comeback. Last year, the Wonderking IP was acquired by Dream ID Soft, a Korean-based company that seems to mostly focus on data, app development. They have their own metaverse game, which from what I could tell is a place where you can walk around virtually in Daegu, which is a town in Korea, to visit landmarks and such, nothing related to the Facebook metaverse or anything like that. And they also have a few games under their hood as well. But what is interesting is that the current director of Dream ID Soft is the same person who was at the head of the company that developed Wonderking all those years ago. So it looks like the CEO had a stake in getting his baby Wonderking back in its own crib. According to the comments made by him on the Korean website Naver, there are some rough plans for the release. The game could have mobile crossplay, new idle elements, and this release will be a repolished version of Wonderking 1. Probably to get it a bit more up to date with modern MMOs. I mean, the game was released back in 2007 after all. And by the way, if you are enjoying today's video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more MMO reviews, news, all that good stuff. Make sure to hit the bell notification as well to stay up to date when new videos are released. The new Wonderking release is also listed on itsgame.korea, and there they mention that the following pieces of content will be added to the game. A mission system that provides content in various directions, such as defense missions, attack missions, item collection, monster hunting, etc. Breaking away from the simple repetitive rules while inheriting the dynamic operation methods, such as double jump and dashing, which are the characterizations of the existing Wonderking. We plan to introduce the exchange system that specializes in 4 basic occupations and grow to the 3rd level. That's the 3rd job advance that I was talking about earlier. One thing that set Wonderking apart from MapleStory also back in this day was that most classes were a bit more mobile, while MapleStory introduced flash jump for everyone a bit later. You can also use the combination of various skills when fighting monsters and the combat system that causes changes in position, such as pushing and parry. We plan to provide users with various pleasures by inheriting and developing communities, such as basic chat functions in a guild. This was a Google translation, as you can tell. The Wonderking website is up as well, and curious players can register for the CBT that will start at the end of this month. The game is supposed to be released still in the first half of 2022, which is pretty soon if the developers at least don't run into any delays. 2022 for Korea though. I tried to register for a closed beta as well, but as often is the case with Korean games, you need a Korean phone number before you're able to sign in, so that's a no-go. There currently are no plans announced yet for any release outside of Korea, but perhaps if the game is successful enough we can see a port over to other countries. However, this usually is a slower process because you gotta set up those support lines, you gotta set up the websites and everything like that. So I wouldn't count on this happening over next year at least. It is an interesting move to relaunch a game that has been gone for so long from the public's view without any real marketing. Another game that recently made a similar comeback after being closed already for years is Grand Chase. So perhaps this is the start of a trend of companies reviving old school, already closed off MMOs. The relaunch of Grand Chase Classic wasn't received that well though, with most players complaining about the way the game is balanced now. I hope that the Wonderking development also takes a look at that game and takes lessons from that relaunch and can deliver on reviving the game with an old school feel, but also updated enough so it doesn't feel like we're actually playing a game from 2007. Did you play Wonderking yourself, and do you plan to give the game a spin once it gets released in the West? Let me know in the comments. And that was all for today. Let me know which game you would like me to cover next. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar NHI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesuit, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vira, Trevor, Michael Machaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal 1 Pun, Victor Sundstrom, Radical Jaws, Riser RU, Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, Sir Tito 655, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Narc, Galando Balavia. My name is Coppersan and I'm super cute XOXO. PC Game Life, Dante Victory, Stanislaus Xumo Vegas, Level 243, Paladin Reboot, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gabriel Eck, Pedro Benetti, Conrad Cristales and Ace Light. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy gaming!